His name is Chris Brown, otherwise known as Colorado's rushing machine. Through 8 games, Brown leads the nation of rushing as the Buffaloes have pounded their way to 5 consecutive wins. Today, the BCS #1 ranked Oklahoma Sooners hope to put an end to Brown's dominance as they continue their own demolition of the Big 12. The Oklahoma D brings speed and strength, which can shut an opponent down in a heartbeat. The undefeated Sooners will have their eyes set on Brown as Colorado, their rushing attack, look to spoil dreams of a national title. Turn the Sooners loose, and here they come. Despite the nasty weather, you could not find an empty seat in this stadium with a shoehorn. Welcome, everybody. For the old quarterback, Gary Danielson. I'm Brett Musburger. Nice to have you with us. Got some interesting matchups. Let's start with the 2 coaches now.
Brent, you know, we always talk about basketball, bench coaches. Well, I think in college football, we have the 2 best bench coaches here, and I say that because both of these coaches have an ability to sense a game and adjust, and their teams produce in big games.
Yeah, Bob Stoops and Gary Barnett are amongst the best. Now, the quarterbacks, they're not Heisman Trophy candidates, but they're pretty dang important.
Yeah, and I think in this game, especially a big game, because both teams want to run the ball effectively, both of these guys, Hodge and Hibble, have to not turn the ball over. No big mistakes, and I think their team has a chance to win.
Well, as you know, Gary Barnett has been a giant slayer throughout his tenure. Let's go down below now to our Jackaroo.
Gary, what is the success or the failure of this team the Colorado Buffaloes hinge upon today?
Well, you know, I think one is if we can hang on the ball, not make any dumb mistakes, and, you know, at the same time, keep the running game of Oklahoma in hand somehow.
Good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
Brent, it's only going to get nastier down here.
Taking a look at the Big 12 standings in the South, Oklahoma, virtually a 2-game lead on Texas as they beat them head-to-head. But in the North, Colorado's your leader, but Iowa State, K-State, and Nebraska are pulling for the Sooners today to hand Colorado their first setback in the conference. Colorado will get the first possession of the game. Steve from the 5 to the middle of the field and well short of the 20-yard line. Chris Brown leading the nation in rushing, 162 yards a pop. Number 22 comes up now behind the quarterback. They may load the formation today. Try to give him a lead blocker. All of you in Colorado are aware of how effective Drum is. On the power eye, here comes Brown with the game's first carry. Straight the corner meets him, and he's out of bounds. Our AT&T wireless starting lineups. Here's the offensive line that is slowly emerging now for the Buffaloes. They blow those big holes open for Brown. Brandon Drum leading the way that time. Robert Hodge, number 7, is your Colorado quarterback. Second down and 6. The power eye set again. And Brown again. Stuffed through a hole. Everidge. So it's first down for Colorado after the 15-yard run. Tommy Harris and Corey Klein could not jam the line of scrimmage. Then in the middle, Lance Mitchell was unable to get the job done. So you move to the secondary. And the last hurdle, Brandon Everidge was there for the stop for Oklahoma. No fullback this time. Play fake, Hodge rolls right. He'll keep it. Fumble! Colorado, I believe, jumped on the loose ball, although Klein is indicating otherwise. Let them unpile.
Big hit by Eric Bassey. Eric Bassey, the strong safety, is the guy that laid it on Hodge coming out of the pocket. Colorado does not want to be one-dimensional, but watch this bootleg play. Trying to tell Oklahoma they're going to do different things in this football game. But watch Bassey. Jones, and he came up with a big play there.
Ryan Gray saved the day with a fumble recovery.
Another one.
Brown fumbles again this time. OU pouncing on it.
Chris Brown had that
Oklahoma ball.
Chris Brown had that fumble game early in the year against Colorado State. Since then, he's been hanging on to it. You heard Gary Barnett tell Jack that's the one thing he didn't want to do. Turn the ball over early in the game.
Derek Strait will recover this fumble for you. He's been active, number 2, the outstanding defensive back. You see 2 go for the ball, and somehow he'll come up with it right there, and he does.
When it was Lance Mitchell again, number 10, that came across and poked that ball loose with his left hand.
There's the D. A turnover, and 42 now of their last 46. That delay handoff, and Griffin breaks the first tackle, can't get outside, and he is down with Drew Walruse, the senior linebacker, making the stop. So number 22 versus number 22, and for Quentin Griffin, a couple of 200-plus yard games. One of them a memorable 248 against the Longhorns of Texas. Second down and 10 coming up. Griffin, daylight, checked out. That was T1 Jones, number 20. The redshirt freshman from Jenks checked in. And our AT&T Wireless starting lineup. Now they will be paving Griffin's and Jones' way behind this offensive line. Vince Carter growing up as a young center. Will Peoples is the leading receiver for this team.
The biggest change from Oklahoma this year is on third down. They will get in the I formation like they are right now and run downhill with T1 Jones.
Needing a couple for a first down. T1 works ahead for it to the 21-yard line against this Colorado defense. Now they have to disrupt that draw play that they used with Griffiths in the game, and he's returning basically a 4-2-5 with Masoni and Walruse, the backers. And these fellas are responsible for not letting the wide receivers run free after the catch. Yards after catch can kill you. Fumble. Hibble picks it up, and no gain. And that was Harris, number 30, alertly making the stop for Colorado.
We're seeing the effects of the rain in this football game. You have to believe that was a bad snap on the shotgun. Vince Carter snapped this ball low. Hibble did a nice job just finding the handle on it right here. Look at that, low and to the left. It was so bad that Quinton almost went after the ball.
Second down and 10. Jones returns, and J.D. Runnels, a young fullback, set ahead of him. Here's Jones again to the 17-yard line. Walruse makes the stop.
This Colorado defense was set up after playing the last 3 games, Baylor, Kansas, and Texas Tech, with basically spread offenses to face this spread offense of Oklahoma. And now, because of the weather, you can see Chuck Long, the offensive coordinator, is giving them a little bit of everything. I formation, spread offenses, and trying to keep that defense off balance.
Griffin is back in the game. He's to Hibble's left. Hibble fires, touchdown, Antoine Savage. Oklahoma converts the fumble into a touchdown on a 17-yard strike. Hibble to Savage.
Absolute bust from the Colorado secondary on this play. Watch Masoni right here. He's been playing inside linebacker. He comes in, and up goes player right there. 2 players cover 1. There's the easy throw. Nice scheme from Oklahoma to confuse Colorado.
From behind Trey DiCarlo on the rainy, foggy day here in Norman. The BCS #1 team recovers a fumble and converts on its first opportunity. Timeout. After scoring Oklahoma's touchdown, Savage will be on the kickoff team. DiCarlo with the ball on the tee. Snead and Calhoun back deep for the Buffaloes. They'll take a knee and bring this one out on the 20-yard line. Well, Corey Klein is one of the defensive linemen, and they must stop Chris Brown, and he talked about doing just that.
He's a real good downhill runner. He doesn't waste time in the backfield trying to juke guys and everything. He gets the ball and really tries to run north-south, and he can cut it back real quick before you know it.
And unfortunately for Brown, he fumbled away an opportunity which set up OU's first touchdown. Hodge and the Buffaloes come out with that power eye look. DeZeriga is the extra. He's the extra fullback. Drum, we expected to see this formation today, and Brown goes nowhere because of Woolfolk and Bassey. Two of the defensive backs come up, and NFL scouts take note. Woolfolk, a corner, will come hit you.
Look at Tommy Harris here, this penetration. This is the game plan inside for Oklahoma. Get upfield and force that right there. A little traffic problem either with Chris Brown or one of the pulling guards or tackles. That guy must be controlled. Tommy Harris at the line of scrimmage.
And you can see that the Sooners are bringing help just as soon as there's contact against Brown. On the roll, it is complete to the fullback, Drum,
for the first down. And Gary, you said that this is why Drum will get a chance in the NFL.
Absolutely. You talk about all his toughness and his blocking ability. That's obvious for a fullback. But if you want to take the next step, modern NFL football means you must use that fifth receiver as the fullback. You know, the tailback doesn't have to be a great one, but the fullback must be able to catch the ball.
First down, Colorado. Motion. A familiar part of Barnett's attack. Brown to the middle, out to the 37, and Jack out there in the open conditions and the rain coming down. Tell us about the weather, my friend.
Well, Brent, it's nasty, but not as nasty as the weather that the Colorado Buffaloes were forced to practice in back in Boulder. All week it was snow and temperatures in the 12 to 15 degree level. They don't have an indoor facility. They just have an armory. They could only practice one offense or one defense. They got here and they said this is like a heat wave.
It is now second down and 5 playing in this heat wave. Hodge, short of the first down, throwing to the running back Brown for the completion. To follow up on that story that Jack just gave you, when Coach Stoops read the articles and heard that the Buffaloes were practicing in raw, tough conditions and knew the weather forecast for here, he took the Sooners out of their indoor facility on Thursday and had them practice in the elements, knowing it possibly could be a little raw here on Saturday. And as it turns out, it's more than raw. It's flat nasty. It's third down and 2, and you see Hodge repositioning DJ Hackett. And now they motion the tight end out of the backfield. Play fake with Hodge. High, dropped, incomplete. And Colorado must punt it away as Everidge, who is growing up as a safety. He's the junior from Granger, Texas. He was the defensive player of the week against Iowa State. And what a hit he just delivered.
Well, I thought Colorado actually had him there on a play-action pass. And Everidge, a safety, had man-to-man. Look for later in the game that stutter play that Colorado hit Kansas State on to come back. A little bit of a different formation here for Colorado. Gary Barnett will try everything in the kicking game to try to disrupt you. You see him shift late.
Now Mariskel is a big-time punter. So the Gunners were both over on the left because Perkins is a fine return man, and a penalty flag they violate the halo zone. You could see that they were way too close. That's a 10-yard penalty against the Buffaloes.
First impression for me, Brent, Tommy Harris, defensive tackle, is on fire in this football game. He is playing, his motor is full speed.
Interference with an offensive catch. 10-yard penalty. First and 10, Oklahoma. Media timeout.
So we'll take a break. The Sooners lead the Buffaloes by a touchdown. Timeout. The ABC Sports presentation of college football is brought to you by Chevy. The cars you can depend on, the cars that last. We'll be there. Bud Light, for the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down. Make it a Bud Light. Circuit City, we know how you feel. That's why we're here. Circuit City, we're with you. And Bowflex for real fitness results. First down coming up now for the Sooners, who lead it by a touchdown. Nate Hibble, the senior from Georgia, the quarterback who has thrown a touchdown pass. You can see the rain coming down harder as we progress into the game. The screen is badly thrown. Interception by the Buffaloes. Colorado in business after Harris, the junior defensive end, virtually, Gary, had the ball thrown right to him.
Harris fell down. He was blocked. And as Hibble started to throw the ball, it was almost too late when he turned around and look. Watch Harris right here. He falls down, and Hibble loses his feet. He gets cut. Watch him go down, and as he turns to throw, he pops up. Great hustle by Harris on the play.
That is Hibble's first interception since we were here for the Alabama game when he threw 4. On the hand of Brown, you can see behind Drum picking his daylight. And finally out of bounds, number 10, Lance Mitchell, was there. And how about our priorities?
Well, both teams in this game are really trying to accomplish the same thing with different formations. Both teams want to control this game with the run, but they want to strike quickly with the pass. But both coaches like the trick for the big treats.
And let me correct something. Those interceptions were against Texas.
I know.
Not Alabama. Second down from the 10, and Brown is stopped in the middle by the defense. Wilkerson jumps into the hole.
Colorado's running offense, Oklahoma's rush defense. When they're able to zero in on a guy, they take great pride in being able to stop that tailback.
Ball inside the 10-yard line. Rain coming down in Norman. Third down and 4 for Hodge and the Buffaloes. Rolls hard to the right. On the run, incomplete. And he had Ron Monte wide open for a touchdown. Missed him.
I really felt, Brent, playing quarterback, that this is absolutely the toughest weather to play in. You can play in rain, you can play in the snow. I had plenty of games, cold games up in Cleveland. But this 40-degree rain together, a little bit of freeze, it gets a glaze on the ball, and you take chances every time you handle it.
That's how the wind is blowing. It is a crosswind. And here is Pat Broom's 25-yard attempt. Knocks it through. 7-3. But Colorado should have scored a touchdown. They'll be kicking themselves. Timeout. Oklahoma with the lead. Both have scored after turnovers in this game on a miserable raw afternoon in Norman, Oklahoma. We have not seen the end of the turnovers in this baby.
It has gotten worse, obviously, as this game. The warm-ups was pretty nice. It is really cold. That ball has got to feel like ice in your hands.
Savage back deep. Mariscal with the ball on the tee for Colorado. And the punter rifles it down to the 4-yard line, and here comes Savage. Now let's go back to this third down play, Gary, because they should have scored a touchdown.
And
here.
had a little rub here. Here's the guy who's going to throw to Monte. Comes here and rubs out to the outside. Watch the collision in the secondary. Get two guys bumping from Oklahoma into each other. That's exactly how you run the play. Two Oklahoma guys bump into each other. You will not get called offensive interference. And that was 7 points waiting to happen right there.
Hibble brings the offense onto the field. Griffin is back in. as the OU running back. Here's the handoff. Cut, free, daylight. Midfield, 40, 20, out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Phil Jackson saves the touchdown. Quentin Griffin explodes for 63 yards.
Number one play Colorado wanted to stop was the draw. So what does Oklahoma do? They go with the draw. Come with the draw, pops it to the outside, a missed tackle on the wet grass, and Quentin Griffin goes all the way. Pushed out of bounds, what, 10, 11-yard line.
Here's the toss to him again. And this time the Buffalo defense stops him. Donald Strickland, number 4, was in there.
Quentin Griffin just won this Alabama game. Was the one game that they couldn't get him going. South Florida didn't play much.
That was Quentin Griffin's career long. That 63-yard run. Jones replaces him. Toss, Jones. Gets a block. Slashes to the 7. Moore saves the touchdown for Colorado.
Jamel Brown, number 55, Brent, hook, a great hook block at the end of the line of scrimmage that time. When you're able to reach out and hook that defensive end, you're able to run the ball. You can see the improvement in this Oklahoma run team as this season has gone on. That was the goal of Bobby Stoops, to get it to be a better run team, and he has accomplished that with great patience.
In the red zone, 23 touchdowns in their 34 trips inside the 20. Third down. And now it is 4th down from near the 5. Walrus makes the stop. The field goal unit trots onto the field for the Sooners.
Remember, Matt McCoy, the safety, has thrown a touchdown pass. The holder won the Missouri game. Again, both of these coaches love the trickery.
Look at Trey DiCarlo with his mouth covered, giving you an indication of how severe it is becoming down on the field. This a 22-yard attempt.
Ready, follow it down. Ready, 5, take 5. Which promo? 4 wide, 4 wide. College football next week is number 3, Monty. Do you want to do the promo or not?
Well, next
over 4, do it.
ABC Sports for a great doubleheader. At noon Eastern, most of you will see Loretto and Ohio State against Purdue. At 3:30 Eastern, the Sooners face another tough test in the Aggies of Texas A&M, plus other regional action, so check local listings.
Ready out, ready.
Most of the fans feel that a wet game only affects receivers and quarterbacks, but a wet field is really tough for a shifty running back like Quentin Griffin coming at you.
And it's going to be tough for our technicians here today, too, battling these conditions and the water. You can see it on many of our lens out there, creeping into some of the audio, and just one of those days, folks. DiCarlo rifles it. Sneed. 20, 25, fumble!
Get the guy who fumbled. One, you stay there. Everybody else get the guy.
Oklahoma may have recovered the fumble on the kickoff. They've got it. It was punched out by the kicker himself, Trey DiCarlo, who went to the Naval Academy, but before enrolling, came down here and signed up with the Sooners, and he delivered that blow, face mask and all.
one of the...
Griffin back on the field. Hibble, the quarterback. Griffin looking for daylight to the 25-yard line. Strickland up to make the stop.
Well, one of the things that's happened to Colorado is, yes, they got to practice against 3 teams that run a similar type offense, but also Oklahoma got a chance to watch that Kansas tape where Kansas put 320 yards rushing, and Mark Mangino used to coach here. They seem to have the number of this defense.
There's that little delay run. Griffin crosses the 20, breaks a tackle. He's inside the 15-yard line. Eleven more yards for Griffin, who has carried 5 times for 80 yards here today.
It seems like the Oklahoma scheme is comfortable with this nickel and dime package that Colorado has. They have not busted assignment, and every play they've dialed has been right.
On a first down, they come back with Griffin. You know, we asked Brayton what makes Quentin Griffin a special running back, and here's what the defensive tackle for Colorado said.
He has that lateral speed that some of the great running backs you play against have, and he goes side to side real well, and then he just takes off on you. And I think the key to trying to stop him is swarm tackling, you know, a gang-style defense.
I think he's exactly right, because he has broken the first tackle repeatedly.
And the tough part of being able to swarm is they spread you all out over the field with their formations.
Neat fake by Hibble, throw underneath, and it was dropped at the 3-yard line. He had Trent Smith wide open, and number 88 couldn't get the handle on the wet football.
Yeah, the #1 receiver for Oklahoma is their tight end / slot receiver, H-back, whatever you want to call him. And Trent Smith had it. Hibble took a little touch on this one. It's a little bootleg pass. Watch Nate put a little touch on this thing, saying, here you go, big guy. Handle this one. And Trent coughs it up.
Hibble, protection, fire strike high, and incomplete. And it's field goal time, an uncatchable ball for sure, as he rifled it out of the back of the end zone. Mark Clayton, the sophomore from Arlington, Texas, Stoops receiver in the end zone.
When you try to throw that ball hard, that's when they go high on you. The touch passers have the advantage in this type of weather.
4th and 10, and so Trey DiCarlo trots out for a 31-yard attempt. Slid it to the left, no good. Well, for an update, let's check in with John Saunders in New York. John.
Well, Brent, as you know, Penn State's only a few points away and a couple of overtime losses from being a contender in the Big Ten. Larry Johnson here takes it 84 yards against the Illini defense that somehow can't get a hand on them for the touchdown. They missed the point after, so Penn State has opened up a 9-0 lead. Meanwhile, Notre Dame, unbeaten, is down 14-0 right now, their biggest deficit of the season.
So the Fighting Irish under enormous pressure. Here Robert Hodge of Colorado throws it incomplete, and he was in serious trouble. Lance Mitchell had applied all the pressure that time for the Sooners.
Oklahoma's defense has improved because the new players have improved. Mitchell, Pasha Jackson, and Eric Bassey have all gotten better as this season is going along. And Bob Stoops said they would. Everybody was worried about this team early, and he said, hey, our 2000 championship year we improved, and this defense will improve.
Lawrence Vickers checks into the Colorado backfield. Brown breaks free, and here he comes. So he has accepted the challenge from Griffin. And he runs to the 44-yard line, 23 more yards. So our Pac Life game summary from so far. And it has been wild here. In the early going, the nation's leading rusher fumbled and straight recovered. Hibble hit Savage. Oklahoma scored. Then Griffin, who is off to a great start, exploded 63 yards. Now on first down, Bobby Purify checks into the backfield after the good run by Brown, and Brandon Everidge up for the stop for the Sooners.
Part of the game plan for Oklahoma against Colorado's running attack is to trust the speed of the defense. They want to bounce all of the running backs for Colorado to the outside and trust that the speed of their linebackers and safeties will gobble them up.
Second down, and Brown checks back into the backfield for Colorado. And a penalty flag thrown prior to the snap. So we have the nation's leading rusher, Chris Brown, here.
False start on the offense.
But a pretty good back by the name of Griffin for Oklahoma, who's averaging 13 yards a pop. So there are numbers right now. Obviously, Gary, we will track that matchup all game long.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are on the Chris Brown wagon now, but I thought coming into this game where these were the two best backs nobody talks about. I mean, they are electrifying with the football.
Second down and 14. There's Brown. The draw for Brown. Steps to the hole, still going. And he made it all the way back, almost to a first down. He's crossed midfield. This will put him in a short yardage situation after the 12-yard run with Straight, the defensive back, making the stop.
And
what a great duel this is going to be.
Absolutely. You can bet on third down, Chris Brown gets the football. He is 20 for 24, converting on third down carries.
And look at the power formation that they worked on this week. Colorado has not shown this formation at all. Gives him an extra blocker for Brown. Here he comes. He stumbled, fumbled again. There is a penalty flag, however, I see thrown. There is a penalty flag thrown on the play, and Brown's problem today is getting a handle on the ball. Colorado indicating that they recovered it.
Offside, Oklahoma.
That's a first down.
Look at Chris Brown. Try to break him down for Chris Brown. He's a big guy, but it's his patience with his mind, reading those blocks. Great, strong upper body. His legs have the power, but it's these feet, Brent. These feet have dancer's feet. That's what makes good. And you know what he reminds me of? Eddie George is who he reminds me of. Big, tall, a workhorse.
It's his hands that have been a question here in the wet going. Got the ball again and picks up a couple more yards.
There was no hands on that thing, though. They didn't have any hands on there. I couldn't do it.
Everidge with still another tackle for Oklahoma. Number 7, the junior from Granger, Texas, doing a great job. It's the kind of day it is, folks. Tough, rock'em sock'em. Oklahoma leads it by 7. Timeout. Folks, this is football weather. But what about the ball security, Gary? What can you do when you're playing with a wet football?
Well, I think, first of all, you got to get in the hands of the guys you trust. I mean, put into those. When you have defensive backs running back kickoffs, that may be a problem. So get into the guys you trust and just remind them. Just keep reminding them that the team that drops the ball the least may win this football game.
Absolutely.
You have to just stress it as a football coach.
Coach Barnett on the far side. Bob Stoops the near side. Colorado has made it to the OU 43, second down, and Brown is jammed as Lehman cleans it up.
Sorry, I'm trying to press all these buttons. We got everything going on here, right?
You're pushing the wrong insert button, and that's why you heard for the ISO request.
Well,
so now you know what he's asked my man Bob Goodrich for in the truck.
And the other thing is, you know, we just don't stand up here and eat hot dogs during the game, right? A lot of work going on.
Holy Wolverine.
Yeah, Holy Wolverine.
Third down now.
Run the ball, and that one was stopped.
Hodge had good blocking. Beautiful throw underneath for the first down. Went to Bo Williams, the tight end from California. And that was a nifty play as Williams came wide open. Well schemed.
And good blocking is the key. This offensive line gets a lot of credit for their run blocking, but when you give the quarterback time to throw to a big tight end across the zones of Oklahoma, that's the type of safe pass that Colorado has to feature in this football game. Even Oklahoma does.
Now here's a first down for the Buffaloes inside the 35-yard line. And Vickers checks back into that backfield. But they keep running the big fella. Pasha Jackson makes the stop. And tonight on ABC, don't miss the conclusion now of Gladiator. Thrilling new scenes never shown in theaters. Tonight at 9, 8 Central, right here on ABC. Does that mean there's a different ending?
No, it's that ending. I've seen it. No matter what, you still watch it. All right, here we got a Gladiator thing going on today here. Chris Brown is the center of it, too.
Chris Brown on the toss. Second down, can't cut back. Cut off beautifully that time by Magruder.
The speed of that Oklahoma defense. Chris Brown looked out there and said, I'm not getting around these guys.
On the last two games, look at this Oklahoma D against Texas and Iowa State. 6 passes intercepted. Only 15 first downs given up. Bobby Purify is now the running back.
Oklahoma is aware that Bobby Purify likes to catch the screen pass in 3rd and long. Scored last week.
He's looking off to the left like they might be setting it over there. Purify has to block. Hodge throws high, intercepted, picked off at the 25 by Everidge in a foot race. 45-40, sideline, 20 to the 15. And Brandon Everidge, who made life miserable for Seneca Wallace, is now doing the same for Robert Hodge.
It's his 5th interception of the year. He leads this Sooner team in interception, but this was like catching a punt. Right down the middle here, Hodge just lets this thing go, and watch it. This is I feel pressure, lob the ball, fair catch it, and I've got a punt return as good as I've ever had right here. Thought he was going to take it to the house.
That is the 3rd Colorado turnover here in the first half. That is the first interception, and it gives Hodge and the offense a chance to strike. Griffin to the 10-yard line. Let's check in on more about Everidge with Jack.
Well, Brent, yesterday we asked Mike Stoops, who was Mike Stoops out on the defense? Without a moment's hesitation, he said, it's all about Brandon Everidge. He says he has the intensity, he has the focus, and he has the experience. Just before the game, I asked him, well, Mike, who do you think the game is going to hinge upon? He says, just watch for number 7. Mike Stoops was right.
I think Mike Stoops can run like Brandon Everidge at Iowa in his dreams.
Jones into the backfield for the Sooners. Straight ahead to the 8-yard line. Well, that was the longest play of the day for the Sooners, 64 yards on that interception return. He beat Griffin by a yard. Griffin had a 63-yard run.
Watch this Oklahoma team. They're taking on those linebackers, and they're knocking them down. Boom, 2 guys are knocked down. This is such a totally different Oklahoma team than the one we saw in 2001. Much more physical, much tougher, and Vince Okru knows that this team wants to run the ball at him.
The pass personnel is on the field. Fagan in motion for OU. And Hibble got a man underneath and he misfired. Trent Smith who dropped a pass earlier inside the 5-yard line, but that was not that well thrown.
No, but you know what? Both quarterbacks must have patience with this type of a game, and more importantly, the head coaches have to realize that it's not all going to be perfect out there for the QB.
A field goal opportunity. Now this is 4th and 4. This is a little more makeable if they were to fake it. DeCarlo missed the last one from 31. This is 25. He's made one from 22. And he is now 2 of 3. It's 13-3. Oklahoma leading Colorado. He's a pretty good running back himself, just walking away from the camera right now, Eric Bieniemy.
One of those guys that Bill McCartney used to turn back this Colorado football program, and now Gary Barnett has come back and, what does he say, return to dominance? Is that the phrase? There's a lot more dominant teams in this Big 12 than there used to be, though.
Jeremy Bloom, the young skier, back deep. And they'll kick it short. It's a free ball, loose. Oklahoma's got it on the 25-yard line. Savage, who scored the game's only touchdown, recovers the free ball at the 25-yard line. The strategy to kick it short pays off. In that situation, you've got to fair catch it with one of your up men.
Gary Barnett made a move to take Snead out of the game and put Bloom in, but you see right here, Bloom doesn't come up fast enough on it, misjudges it, and all of a sudden, a pooch punt ends up back in Oklahoma's hands. Bloom has to attack that ball.
So Oklahoma, another opportunity. Quentin Griffin slashes to the 19-yard line. Our Pacific Life game summary, and turnovers are now a mounting story for Colorado. They have turned it over 4 times in this game so far. Brown jarred loose early. Then on a kickoff return, they fumble. Then the high pass is intercepted by Everidge in a 64-yard return. Now they fail to field the kickoff wide open. And Griffin slashes to the 14-yard line. And one thing you've got to say about Bob Stoops and this coaching staff, folks, you give them a week off, they are lethal. They are 10-1 after a week off. The only time they were ever beaten was in a bowl game by Mississippi down at the Independence Bowl. They've had a week off in preparation for Colorado, and they have jumped all over the Buffaloes here. Jones, now the running back. He's thrown back from a first down.
Tyler Brayton right there was on that tackle. Nineheis and Brayton, the two defensive end and defensive tackle. I don't think he got it on that one. This is the 5th time Oklahoma's been inside the 20-yard line. They have 1 touchdown, 2 field goals, and a missed field goal. They have to go for this one. They're going to take a timeout. Yep, you see about it.
25-second clock running down. Stoops uses the timeout, and then he's going to go for the first down. The Aflac trivia question. When was the last time Oklahoma defeated Colorado? A hint, you got to go back a little ways, folks. Now it is 4th down and inches for Hibble. Jones is the running back. Hibble's odds on, right behind Carter. Jones penalty flag. First down if it stands. The linesman threw the flag.
Usually that means Colorado lined up in the neutral zone. Let's see if that is.
Offside.
First down. You know, we mentioned Carter and Griffin, and we had a chance to ask the young center about helping Quentin Griffin, the star running back.
it makes you feel good just knowing that, you know, if we give Q just a little crease that he can get out in the open field and, you know, get out there one-on-one on the safety. And, you know, he's great in the open field.
So Carter down over the ball. Griffin is back in as the running back off to Hibble's left. Here comes Griffin looking for that seam. To about the 9-yard line and down. Stop made by Strickland, number 4. Well, a reminder now, Monday Night Football, and it's a good one. We've got a couple of division leaders. The Miami Dolphins and the Green Bay Packers at 9 Eastern time. We want to tune in and find out how Chris Carter does as a Dolphin. He has signed a contract, and you can see that he's expected to play, and he could really help Brett Favre, who also is expected to play. Jones is in as the running back for OU on this second down. Fake, Hibble, thrown down at the 18 by Gabe Nineheist, the junior who transferred from Northwestern.
Nineheist came off that sprained knee, missed a couple weeks. Back in the lineup this week. Nineheist, BMX guy. Leonard in volleyball. I'd like to play volleyball against this guy, huh?
St. Charles, just outside of Chicago, Gary.
Comes right through the net on you. You know, a little change-up for Colorado in this game, Brent. Strickland is playing inside the home game, number 4. They've moved him into a safety and a strong safety position. He's in the action, not outside on the corner in this football game.
Now this is a 3rd and goal. Hibble middle, fires, grabbed. A beautiful catch that time by Mark Clayton for the touchdown. That's the 2nd touchdown pass of the game for Hibble.
When you move Strickland inside, that means Jackson has to go man-to-man. Strickland's in here, so out to the outside, you've got man-to-man coverage. Comes up, breaks in. Hibble throws the ball softly. Remember the last time he gunned it in there? This time he took some touch on it. He just led the ball into the inside, and Phil Jackson did not get inside technique.
Carlos, extra point, partially blocked, but goes across anyway. So it is 20-3. Jackson got a hand on that extra point. Take another look. The 2nd scoring strike of the day for Hibble, and Oklahoma leads big right now. Timeout. ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Cadillac. Bold vehicles defying convention. Jack Daniel's Original Hard Cola. Come as you are. Pepsi Blue, a fusion of berries with a splash of cola. It's a blue thing. And Aflac, ask about it at work. You don't have to ask these fans about how good this Oklahoma Sooner team is this year. They lead Colorado, a team that came in here with a 5-game winning streak. Snead and Calhoun are back on the field as the return man, and Calhoun gets a seam. Boy, that DeCarlo, he sticks his nose in there. Well, we ask you the question, the last time that Oklahoma defeated Colorado, folks, you got to go way, way back. It was October 22nd, 1988. A running back by the name of Gaddis. And then it was R.D. Lasher with a 22-yard field goal. Oklahoma won at 17-14. Folks, that was Barry Switzer as coach. Bob Stoops has only coached against Colorado once here as the head coach at Oklahoma, and he lost it. 0-8-1 coming in. We're looking good right now. And Brown is tripped up and down at the 43. Everidge making the stop. This defense of Oklahoma. 2 coaches, Mike Stoops there in the red, Brent Venables in the black jacket. They just switch sides now. Mike is the brother of head coach Bob Stoops, being mentioned around the country for possible head coach in many, many spots. Very attractive, as is Venables. Someday, both of them will become head coaches. Second down. They set the screen incomplete. Now, we asked Mike Stoops about his relationship on the sidelines with Venables. Here's what he said.
We're both very passionate for what we do. I think we are extremely competitive in what we do and take a lot of pride in the way our players play.
I know, Gary, you're very fond of these two.
Well, both guys have grown up in solid programs. Venables, Stoops, Iowa, Kansas State. I mean, they paid their dues, and now they're ready.
Hibble watching from the sideline.
Uncomfortable situation for Colorado. 3rd and long. They don't have many of these during the year.
Purify, good receivers in the backfield. He stays to block. Hodge, a runner, slipping, tripping, won't get there. Short of the first down marker.
Look who was up there. Brandon Everidge was right up there to kind of get Hodge off the plate.
Gary Danielson and Jack Arute. I'm Brett Musburger. Oklahoma's defense stopping the Buffaloes right now. They are targeting the leading rusher in the country. Brown with 13 carries already for 67 yards, being outrushed by Griffin. He has 94.
A wonderful blend of speed, patience, and knowing their assignments, and only one senior, only one graduating senior.
Mariscal's punt is a beauty. One of the best punters in the nation. Down at the 5-yard line. Number 8 will make a lot of All-American teams. Oklahoma leads it. We've got a timeout. Nate Hibble has completed only 2 passes in this football game, and both for touchdowns.
Made them both count. That's a good way to do it. Complete them for touchdowns.
Jones checks in as the running back. To the middle for number 20. Stopped at the 7-yard line. We look around the Big 12 right now. Look at Kansas State over Kansas in the 4th. Oklahoma State beating Texas A&M. The Aggies struggling. They've lost 2 in a row. Iowa State, some thought that that would be a blowout. They lead it. That's still up in the air. Texas Tech coming back against Baylor. And later today, Texas and Nebraska.
It's a must-win game for Iowa State. Stay in this thing, save their season, go to a bowl game. They got to have that victory.
Second down, that inside handoff. And this will be about 3rd and 5 as Griffin unable to get that seam, with Wilder making the stop for the Buffaloes.
Oklahoma very conservative here. They believe their defense is good enough. Worst thing that could happen is give Colorado the ball deep in this end zone right here. Quick turnover would hurt them. They'd like to just punt this ball or run the ball for a first down. Very safe pass if they do it.
If they do, Ronaldo Works could go wide. He's on the field, 47 along with 22. Works is very good to the outside. Hibble rolls to the right, fires to the outside, and Mark Clayton. So they pick it up in the air.
Well, if you look at Nate Hibble, starter a year ago, got hurt. Let's do it all O's. OU's obedient, follows the game plan. He's older, mature, a senior, orderly. That's his background as a golfer. Step by step by step. And I wanted to say vocal, but it didn't have an O, so oral. He's talked. He's a leader now. He's comfortable being the quarterback on this football team.
So his 3rd completion is for a first down after throwing his first 2 for touchdowns. Good move by Hibble, but Griffin can't get daylight. Picked up a couple of yards. Joey Johnson making the stop. And a reminder that tomorrow, join ABC for coverage of Smart One Skate America. Pairs competition at 1 Eastern, 2 Pacific, then at 5 Eastern, 3 Pacific. The American stars, Michael Weiss and Matt Savoy, in the men's competition. Tomorrow on ABC Championship Television.
Brent, you mentioned that last time that Colorado faced Oklahoma, they only ran the ball in that game 14 times for 19 yards. They've already run more than that, 22 times.
Now Hibble shotgun, fires in underneath. Close to the marker. That was Antoine Savage. Number 6 was down after the completion. And Hibble on the money with that throw, and this is going to be 3rd and short.
You're going to have to put pressure on Nate Hibble, or he'll stand back there and pick you. He has that mentality. Golf is his background. If you don't get on him and force him to move his feet, He's very accurate with the football, and usually he's a great deep ball thrower. Today in this weather, it's going to be tough to throw the ball deep.
The officials want to take a look at this with the chains. That's what's left. Coming up on the Capital One Halftime Show, John Saunders will have highlights and analysis from around the country in college football. He'll tell you what's going on at South Bend. Notre Dame under pressure from Boston College, and wouldn't that be something if history repeated itself? The last time Lou Holtz and the Irish beat Florida State, they then lost the following week to Boston College. Jones, the running back. Power formation. Here's Jones for the first down. And for a little fella, he packs a wallop.
I'll tell you, 3rd and short, though, when you get that much space where your wallop is back in the secondary, you know that offensive line, an offensive line that has not had an injury this year. All 5 guys have started every game. Sims, Davis, Carter, Skinner, and Brown have not missed it. They've moved in some players and substitutions, but all have been healthy.
Now Griffin is 1 yard shy of 100. He's on the field now for this first down. Looking for another 100-yard day. He'll have to wait a play. Hibble going airborne and deep. Incomplete. 2nd down and 10. Now Peoples was muscling his way down the field. Snead had pretty good coverage on this, but watch Peoples on this play.
Yeah, this ball was not catchable. Snead did a good job of beating him to the spot and forcing Peoples to run right through him. That's good defense. Not going to get that call.
I don't think so. Not here, young man. 2nd down. Barnett and the Buffaloes face an uphill battle against Stoops and the Sooners. 23. Here comes Griffin. Here comes the 100-yard day. Got it. I think, but it is close. Maybe he didn't. Let's wait till they spot it. Very close. Walrus and Moore doing a good job that time at the point of attack. But it looks like he may have picked up one. Let's check in with Jack.
Well, Brent, if you ask people around here what's the biggest asset for Quentin Griffin, they say 2 things. They say he may be, although he's the smallest player on the squad, they say it's his mind, Gary, but more importantly, his balance. Well, that strikes me, it might be a lower center of gravity, but as you alluded to, the fact that he's got some special kind of feet helps him keep his balance.
3rd down and 9. Hibble figures to go airborne here. Incomplete. Had to throw that one away. Let's find out about the Buckeyes of Ohio State. Let's go to John in New York.
Brett, you know the Buckeyes don't face Iowa this year, so they got to keep rolling, and they can't stall against Minnesota. Lydell Ross goes in from 5 yards out, and right now Ohio State leads 7-3. Meanwhile, Boston College over Notre Dame 14-0, 14 points off 5 turnovers.
Wow, 5 turnovers, and here Colorado's turned it over 4 times, John. Ferguson back to punt. This will roll out of bounds at the 38-yard line. So our 2 coaches here, Bob Stoops and Gary Barnett. Barnett, of course, with a very successful stint at Northwestern, has won 69 times. Not a very flashy bowl record against Big 12 opponents, 19-9. And you see Gary a little bit older. They're mentors, McCartney and Spurrier.
Different ways to do it, right?
Absolutely.
From the defensive side, come from the offensive side. Leaders can come from both sides. Barnett has to stay in this game. He has to survive this first half. He'd love to put something on the board here before halftime.
With 1:50 to go, Bobby Purified checks into that backfield. Colorado going to put it up and try to get something going. Incomplete, and Hodge misfiring badly here, Gary, in the first half.
Well, Robert Hodge obviously got this job when Craig Oaks had that concussion. Came in second half, San Diego State game, 2 for 7. Next game, USC, a disaster for Colorado. Went 1 for 9 for 20 yards. But since then, he's got a little more comfortable, but this defense is special.
He is 3 of 9 today. And on 2nd and 10, throwing deep, caught at the 35-yard line by D.J. Hackett.
Oklahoma does not run a lot of man coverage, but this time it looked like Perkins had Hackett man-to-man. Right there, there's the matchup right there. Look, no safety in the middle of the field. This is what Robert Hodge likes to do. This had to be a bust by Oklahoma, misalignment.
Colorado with 3 timeouts remaining. Minute and a half now. Hodge fires, caught again. Inside the 20 to the 15, and Hackett again. He's found something right now, and Hodge, with by far his best sequence so far, has driven the Buffaloes to the 15, just inside of a minute and a half.
The 2-minute offense and the spread offense has taken the game to Hodge. He's much more comfortable this way.
Hodge now sets the screen, and the back didn't have a chance to turn upfield. Is Purify, number 42.
Colorado.
Now they will use a timeout. Remember, they had all 3 of them with 1:14 to go. And we check in with Jack.
Well, Brent and Gary, you were talking about the need to score here for Eric Bieniemy, though. When he took the offense over to the sidelines before they came out, he told the Buffaloes, look, it's not important right now to do anything other than to get refocused. He went through a litany of the mistakes that were made in this first half. Then he turned to each and every member of the offensive scheme, and he said, it's now our turn to do our part and get back in a position of poise. One thing about having a guy with the animation and the passion of Eric Bieniemy on the sidelines, as you know, Gary, he can calm guys down as well as fire them up.
The most important thing right now is for Colorado to get on that scoreboard, Mr. Danielson, and go in and give themselves a lift here.
Well, those 2 big passes, and I think Oklahoma is misaligned on the one. I don't see them play a lot of bump and run coverage with no safety. Hodge noticed it. The 2-minute offense has caught Oklahoma off guard. Plenty of timeouts, plenty of time. Gary Barnett would love. Remember when Oklahoma against Texas put that late touchdown on at the end of the half, got him back in the game? Colorado needs to do something similar. Field goal, I don't think is going to do it.
There's the last 5 possessions. Couple of turnovers, couple of punts, and only that 1 field goal. They're in the red zone territory right now, and timeout called by OU after they looked at the personnel.
Absolutely. They thought they were going to get the spread look that time. They did not, and they said, no, let's take a timeout.
So Mike at Venables down there with the Oklahoma defense that ranks 2nd in the country in total defense. That's how solid OU has been this year against the run and the pass. We saw them shut down Texas. There you see your NCAA leaders now with the BCS schools. Look at LSU giving up only 230 yards a game. Texas, solid number 3. Then it's Alabama. Alabama came in here and gave Oklahoma all they could handle, but the Sooners prevailed in the last couple of minutes.
It's interesting. The Big 12, though, has 8 teams, 8 of them that are averaging 30 points or more. So they're playing solid defense in a conference that scores a lot of points.
Jack?
One of the reasons why the OU defense has been so strong through the years is what defensive coordinator Mike Stoops says is after complex statistical analysis, he threw all the books out the window. He said all we do now is we go out and we look for players that either play multiple positions or multiple sports. He said if you've got that kind of complexity in high school, you can then come to Oklahoma and you can pick up what we're trying to sell on the defensive side of the ball. I think he looks for a little passion, a little speed, too.
Yeah, that's a very good point, Jack, but he does like athletic ability. Now 2nd down, now 1:14, couple of timeouts. Purify into that backfield. Hodge hit, ball loose. But they'll call it incomplete. The umpire stepped in. Brandon Shelby was coming, so that timeout. And Stoops and Venables make very good use of it.
Shelby comes right here. Different look. They have 6 defensive backs on for Oklahoma. And Hodge, it's the Tom Brady call on that right there. Almost a tuck rule on that one. Caught him right underneath the shoulder, and that was very close.
So we'll take a break now as Colorado uses another timeout. But Gary, a couple of pass plays have at least given Colorado an opportunity here.
It was in the 2-minute offense that happened. I think Oklahoma was misaligned. You see Hodges kind of throws this one up to there, but Perkins has no help. And then the next time, good throw on the back shoulder of Hackett. 28 yards on the first one, and he comes back with 20 on the next one. But since then, it's been a screen pass that lost yardage and a sack that turned into an incomplete pass, so it's 3rd and long.
And if they would fail on 3rd and long, you would think that Colorado would tack on a field goal here before they go on and at least make it 20-6.
Have to put it into a 14-point game that way. Haven't seen Hodges do much. He's quick with his feet. I wonder if they got a quarterback draw or something like that to at least get in field goal better position.
They spread the field. 4 wideouts for the Buffaloes. Hodge goes to the end zone, and everybody tripped. First the defender went down, and then the wide receiver went down. It'll be 4th down.
Boy, I tell you got to wonder if that ball could have been caught. DJ Hackett, that ball just barely landed out of bounds. He had the match against Bassey, the strong safety. They got tackled up. He's going to run a corner over here, and it's kind of a slow route to the outside. See how they get tackled. Ball's in the air. Bassey falls and trips over his foot. Incidental.
It's a 36-yard attempt by Brown. Blocked. Free. Loose. A minute for the Sooners and a short field. Special teams have backed up tremendously on Colorado here today.
I think it was Andre Woolfolk, number 17, that got it. We got the camera on it. I think they're right. That's his 12th. Block kicked under Stoops. Right up the middle. The kick is, I don't know if it's low or not, but when the 17 goes up, he gets him. There's the stretch, the jump. And yes, number 17 flying up comes and gets it. Holy cow.
And Oklahoma, we are told by our producer, Bob Goodrich, that they worked on that field goal block for a long time in practice. Good coaching. Hibble fires underneath, incomplete. Savage, and it'll be 2nd down now with 50 seconds. 1 timeout on the board for the Sooners. 50 seconds to work with.
I gotta believe offensive coordinator Chuck Long likes his matchups to the outside of this dime package for Colorado. The best covered guy for Colorado in the dime package, number 4, Donald Strickland, plays inside over the slot. And then you throw outside against backups.
Griffin on the run. Short of the 45-yard line. Clock continues to run. Masoni makes the stop. We're live in Norman, Oklahoma, where the rain has stopped here in the first half. After raining hard in the early going, Colorado has turned it over 4 times in this game. Hibble to the middle. Got it. First down. Clock is stopped at the 22-yard line. Trent Smith.
Best throw of the day by Hibble. 4 vertical is what it's called. 4 up the seams. You read the free safety and you throw the ball off the free safety's eyes.
Hibble gets the Sooners up to the line too quick, and the chain gang's not there yet.
Very good. I love to go on this. Don't waste the play. Snap it and run a play. He faked it.
High. Could have been intercepted, though. Very dangerous as Curtis Fagan goes up after it, and Roderick Sneed with a shot at it.
They faked the clock play where the quarterback bends down like he's going to throw the ball to the ground to stop the clock and then throws the fade. Remember, Dan Marino did that in a game for the Dolphins to score at the end of a game or a half, just like that.
It was the end of the game, and it was the New York Jets. Jet fans will never, ever, ever forget it.
"17 seconds. He's having trouble with the call. He's going to have to take a timeout."
Well, they had one.
Yeah, but now they're going to have trouble. They needed to save that timeout for the field goal. Watch it again. Nate Hibble is going to try to kind of dink this guy over here by faking the clock play. He bends down like he's going to throw it down. He doesn't. Fagan slow off the ball, but alert play by Colorado almost ends up in a turnover.
17 seconds to throw on this 2nd down and 10. They've got to throw 10 yards. A first down would stop the clock. They're out of timeouts. Then they can rush the field goal unit onto the field. Remember, this backed up on Florida State late going against Miami. When they took the extra play, the clock continued to run. They had to rush the field goal team on the field. Bad snap, bad hold, and they go wide left on that.
The only difference here, though, Brent, is if they throw for a first down here, the clock will stop and they can come up and ground the ball. They don't have to rush them on. If it was 4th down, then they would have to run them on. So they have the advantage, if they get a first down, of being able to clock it, stop it, and take their time.
But they must throw it 10 yards.
At least 10 yards.
Come in underneath here.
They cannot do that, and they have to avoid the sack. 2 bad things could happen. Of course, if we know the Midwest, everybody thinks bad things can happen. You can also get it picked up, but you have to throw the ball 10 yards or more.
That'll stop the clock with the incompletion. 14 seconds, and that'll bring the field goal team on the field.
Everybody's looking around. I would kick the field goal right now. Can't take a chance. Take points. Colorado has the advantage on this play. They know the ball has to be thrown more than 10 yards.
This is a gamble.
They don't have any timeouts either.
Third down. Throwing deep. Now it's incomplete. Phil Jackson, the defender for the Buffaloes.
So what happens is Colorado knows. I mean, usually just stand back. It's like in basketball. You know a guy has to take a 3. You cover the perimeter. Here you know they have to throw for more than 10. It's a tough throw.
Yeah, they were right in taking one more crack at it.
Well,
there was no need, as I said, to really rush the field goal unit out there. They had time to use the 3rd down. And now the 39-yard attempt by DiCarlo. And DiCarlo's missed again.
See, the wasted timeout, though, cost them an opportunity to run the ball closer and give DiCarlo a better shot at it.
That's why Stoops was so upset down on the field. He was livid about the use of that timeout down there, and that cost them. So neither team can take advantage of an end of the first half opportunity.
Well, you know, you get 4 turnovers in a block kick against an average football team and you're in trouble. You're playing one of the best football teams in the country. You're in deep trouble.
Now they'll take a knee right here.
Colorado down the ball at the 20-yard line.
So Oklahoma leads it 20-3. Barnett and the Buffaloes will attempt to regroup. Coming up, it's John Saunders in the Capital One halftime show. Quentin Griffin getting the best of the individual duel in this game, and Oklahoma leads Colorado 23. Jack Arud has Coach Barnett down below, so let's go to Jack.
All right, Coach, how do you get your team back on dead center?
Well, we go in the locker room and get our A team and bring it out instead of the team we brought out in the first half, you know. Shot ourselves in the foot, turned the ball over.
So what'd you tell them in the locker room, Coach?
You don't tell them much. They know what went wrong. We first of all, you know, they tried to knock us out. We gave them every opportunity to knock us out in the first half, and they didn't do it. So, you know, we're still standing, and now we got to bring our A game instead of the one we brought earlier.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks,
It'll be
Coach.
interesting.
Brett, it's a heavyweight battle, I guess.
Yeah, Jack, that was kind of interesting that we gave an opportunity to knock us out and they haven't done it. So what do you think now, Gary, that Barnett might come up with here?
Well, they need to go back to what Colorado does, make first downs. You know, Quentin Griffin had the big play. You said he had the matchup, but Chris Brown still had 70 yards. It's been the turnovers. They need to make first downs, make first downs, make first downs, and then they have a chance to get back in the football game.
4 turnovers. Plus, don't forget there was the blocked field goal, which, you know, might as well be a
Colorado cannot put Hodge into position on 3rd and long. He's not equipped for that. He needs to help the offense, not be the offense.
Well, Stoops and Oklahoma will handle the ball to start the second half. Remember, they won the coin flip and they deferred. So they'll get the first possession. You would think very important for the Buffaloes here. Very, very important for them to stop Oklahoma on the first series. Force a punt, get a turnover, do something. Savage and Perkins back deep for the Sooners. They're both dangerous. Here's Perkins looking for an alley on the outside. He crosses the 40-yard line. Excellent return.
We talked about what Colorado had to do to get back in this football game. When you look at the Pacific Life game summary from the first half, look at that 3rd down conversions, 1 for 6. When Colorado was playing good football, they're getting about 66%. 1 for 6. That's why this game has been dominated, plus the turnovers, obviously, by Oklahoma. 3rd and long is not what this Colorado offense is built for.
So Hibble, the quarterback, he completed 5 passes in the first half, 2 of them for touchdowns. Here's Griffin on that delayed draw play that was so successful against Texas. And we go back and take a look at the first half. The first scoring strike was to Antoine Savage. The second one, he came to Mark Clayton. The 2 OU touchdowns and a 23 lead here in the early moments of the second half. Jones, who has been shuttling in and out all day at running back, he has averaged better than 4 yards a crack. Griffin is over 100 yards. He's now rushed for 106. Jones for 42. And more. First down. Spins for it in Colorado territory.
Sure does give you 2 different looks, doesn't it? I mean, you got Griffin with those types of draw plays that you have to kind of get your feet real wide and be able to move both directions. Then they come back with Jones, and when you put your feet wide, he runs right between those 2 feet on you. Nice 1-2 punch for Chuck Long in this offense.
Hibble's up underneath center. He'll run the toss play. And to the outside, Jones this time. To the 31-yard line and another Sooner first down. Strickland again forced to make the tackle after a 15-yard run.
Well, let's give a little credit to Bob Stoops here. He looked at his team, a very successful team at the end of last year, and said, you know what? I'm convinced that we have to be a better running team to get to the next level again. Then he made the commitment with a new coach, and then he had the patience to stay with this run game when a lot of people said it wasn't going to work.
Kevin Wilson is that new coach. As Jones is the ball carrier, Kevin very successful with the program up at Northwestern. And there he is. He just removed the headset. He's in constant contact up above with Chuck Long. The two of them, when we met them yesterday, they were joking about how sometimes Chuck will scream, give me a running play, give me a running play. And Wilson didn't answer in time, so Chuck said, I just sent a pass play. Second down now. Slant. Hibble's got another one at the 25-yard line, and that's Antoine Savage, the receiver. And Jack Wilson's done an excellent job here.
And first and foremost, he did it with the offensive line. When Wilson came in here, he challenged the O-linemen. He changed their splits. He changed their sets. He changed the way they come to the line. And he really gave them a hard time. And we've seen a certain level of advancement with the offensive line with the Sooners. And Wilson said it's just a case they finally get it.
Third down. Toss play. Good stop by Ninehuis that time on Jones. You know, when you think, Gary, when you take the whole of Bob Stoops' coaching staff, there may be some that are as good, but there are none any better than this entire Sooner coaching staff.
Well, he's on the upswing, and Ninehuis is right here on the end. They kind of toss it wide. Ninehuis, strong guy, takes on Fields that time, comes over to the outside, makes the play. Excuse me, Browns that time, makes the play. Fourth, they're out of field goal range. Bobby Stoops goes for it on fourth down here. I think it's a good call. They're not going to be able to get the field goal from here.
Let's see if a receiver can break free for him. Griffin also in the backfield. He's a good receiver himself. Stays to block. Hibble fires incomplete. Ball goes over. A fine save by Colorado. They get the ball back, and Medford Moore there, number 17, making the play on Trent Smith.
Watch Fagan. He's going to run deep for the touchdown down here. A mess up by Colorado, and Nate Hibble doesn't see it. There's the touchdown right there. Throw the ball out to the outside. A bust by Colorado defense, and they get a stop on fourth down. Sometimes things just have to go right for you. Perhaps Gary Barnett had something go right for him, because that should have been a touchdown for Oklahoma.
Now it is up to Robert Hodge. Brown in that power eye set. And again, nothing much doing. Let's take a look at the top 5 running backs from the BCS schools. And of course, those are the 6 major conferences plus Notre Dame. There are your 5 best. Brown at 163. You can see Quentin Griffin not in that list. But here today, he's been the most impressive of our backs. He's over 100 yards already, 63 of them on 1 carry. No gain for Brown that time. Second down. Hodge rolls hard right, commits himself. He hesitated a little bit, and that seemed to allow a very fast defense to close in. And we can see that there is an injured player, Dan Cody, on the ground for Oklahoma.
You say Hodge hesitated a second. Then you saw the speed of Oklahoma's defense close on him. You hesitate against this speed, and they make a lot of space up very quickly.
The medical staff on the field tending to Cody, was breathing heavily. So that'll sort itself out, and we'll take a break. Well, Dan Cody walking off the field, but we've taken one look at the replay already. He took a nasty blow here to the back of the helmet with a knee. As you can see, number 80 going down. You see the contact there, and he was woozy for some time before they helped him up. And there's a possibility that he even suffered a slight concussion. We'll have to wait for a medical report on that, but chances are we've seen the last of Cody for this game anyway.
It's always good news. You get those knees in the helmet that you get up and walk off the field. Great news for Dan Cody.
Third down. Colorado only 1 of 6 converting third down. Hodge gets time, throws a bad pass, intercepted by Lehman. Lehman at the 20, 15, out of bounds, inside the 10-yard line. The junior from Fort Gibson, Oklahoma. And that is turnover number 5.
Not the spot Colorado likes. Third and long. Mike Stoops delivers the zone blitz. They bring 2 guys to this side and then watch him drop back in zone after. This is the one the quarterback has the most difficulty with. 2 coming from one side, and then they play a 4-man zone underneath. Usually that defense, Brent, has a 5-man zone, but they overloaded with the zone blitz, and Robert Hodge, not enough experience to deal with it.
Griffin is lined up to Hibble's left. Looking for a seam. To the 6-yard line. These were the first 4 turnovers. Brown fumbled early on. A kickoff return fumble. Then interception number 1, Everidge. Then they failed to field the kickoff. Savage recovers it. And moments ago, Lehman, their lightning quick weak side linebacker, drops back for the 2nd interception of the game.
And Teddy Lehman has switched over to that position that Rocky Kalmus was in last year. For that reason right there on the zone blitz, he's in the middle.
Jones, the running back. Penalty flags fly from both sides with Nienhuis again making the stop here.
And there's a penalty flag on the play.
Illegal formation on the offense. It'll be a 5-yard penalty. Remain 2nd down.
I remember what Coach Barnett said. We gave them every opportunity to knock us out, and they didn't take advantage of it. And here again, a penalty now works against Oklahoma down here, with the Sooners ranked number 1 in the BCS poll, leading Colorado 23. The Buffaloes came into Norman riding a 5-game winning streak. The Sooners, with 3 receivers split out, Hibble rolls left, goes high. Touchdown is the signal. Touchdown is the signal. Clayton's 2nd of the day. We had to hold up. It was back at the end of the end zone, and we didn't know if he got 1 foot down, but the field judge coming across threw up his arms.
Weak side blitz from the corner on Hibble, a perfect call. You see the corner come in late. The ball's thrown softly, goes up for it. Does his foot come down? Yes.
Yes, it does.
By
Fine
4
call
inches.
by the official. Now 1 foot clearly in bounds. And the extra point added by DiCarlo. And it's 27-3 as Hibble throws his 3rd touchdown pass of the day. And here's Clayton for his 2nd touchdown in the afternoon. And it's a beauty. Timeout. ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Chevy Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. BU, nothing's better. Dr. Pepper. The Hartford, always thinking ahead. And AT&T. Welcome to M-Life AT&T Wireless. Well, Mark Clayton will invite us back more often. We were here for the Alabama game. He caught 2 touchdown passes, and here today he's caught 2. He leads OU with 4 touchdown receptions this season. Fielded on the 12 by Calhoun. 30. Out to the 33-yard line, and Colorado needs to put some points if they expect to climb back in this one.
Yeah, to climb back, they got to do it against a great defense. And Tommy Harris, you remember that 1st down carry by Brown? He was the guy that was in back there. He'd been double-teamed all day, but he still gets those penetrations in the backfield and disrupts the game. Disrupts the game in the backfield even without tackles. Right in the middle, right there.
1st down. Brown for about 3 yards. And a reminder that next Saturday we got a doubleheader coming your way on ABC. Ohio State will take on Purdue. Then at 3:30 Eastern, the Sooners face another tough test in the Aggies of A&M, plus other regional actions. So check local listings for your game next week. 2nd down and 7 coming up for Colorado. And Colorado needs big plays. They need chunks. 3 yards and 4 yards, not going to do it for the Buffaloes coming from behind. They've got to strike, and that's not easy against this D. Hodge rolls hard. Skips it incomplete.
No one to throw to. Remember when Jack told us they talked about what they did to Seneca Wallace? They had great coverage on Seneca Wallace and Iowa State on those bootleg plays, and you can see right there, Hodge came out. There was not one player to throw to. You know who's been very quiet in this game is Brandon Drum. They've been not able to slip in out into the flat. He's not having those devastating blocks. The run game has been kind of neutered by all the turnovers in this football game.
Who's been even quieter is number 80, Derek McCoy. They have been unable to get the ball into his hands. Hackett has 2 on their drive at the end. They set now the screen pass. Purify, and it's a first down for Colorado. There's a play they feature. Oklahoma certainly was ready for it in the first half, and Bobby Purify gets loose for 20 yards and a Colorado first down. But can they finish against this great Oklahoma defense?
A defense that doesn't gamble anymore either. They keep safeties in the middle of the field, and they kind of almost play a pro version. They make you go the long way to beat them.
Brown, Lance Mitchell on the bottom of that. Everidge coming there also. I mean, as soon as one crimson jersey hits you, the next one is there, and Everidge now barking at that Colorado sideline. Number 7 is playing some safety spot back there.
He's a hitter, and he reads it quick. A play-action pass deep might work against him. Coming into this game, Chris Brown had 87 carries of 5 yards or more. He's carried the ball 17 times in this game, only 5 of them for 5 yards.
Second down and 9. There is the play action. Here's the middle's open. Got a man. And it was almost intercepted by Scrape. Hodge had a touchdown, and he underthrew him.
Too deep of a drop by Robert Hodge that time. You need to make that fake very quick and get the fullback the ball. When he delayed and took a 7-step drop, it was too late. Very quick. Watch, Hodge is real quick. Drum is real quick. And Hodge takes too long. Get it, set up, throw it. Come on, throw it, throw it, throw it. Too late. That allows the speed of that defense to make the play.
Third and 9. Hodge in the gun. Steps up against the pressure, incomplete. Thrown without pace to McCoy, and he couldn't hang on a crossing route that appeared to be short of the first down anyway.
Yeah, it was right at the line of scrimmage, even if he would have caught the ball that time. And now you got to
be a fake punt.
You saw Gary Barnett talking Massini there right now.
If I was Oklahoma, I'd leave my defensive personnel on the field.
It looks like they have. Playing man coverage.
Bad snap. And it's down inside. Rolls into the end zone. Still didn't give the signal for it.
That's a touch.
They didn't signal it. The bad judge, it was touched inside the 5-yard line. There's a signal to win in the end zone. There's your touchback signal.
You have to stop the progress of the ball, and it was not stopped. It's not where it's touched. You have to stop it. The ball keeps going. It's touched there, but then kicked into the end zone.
27-3. Timeout. Not much of an argument here after watching this suffocating defense today. They've held the nation's leading rusher to 75 yards. They've held the quarterback of Colorado 7 of 19 for 90 yards and 2 interceptions. They've kept Colorado out of the end zone. They blew up Seneca Wallace, and now Griffin takes it wide. And in the Big 12, Texas sitting in that second spot in the South. Didn't get any help from the Buffaloes, at least not so far. They have a big one coming up against Nebraska and Iowa State.
Yep.
A 7-point winner over Missouri, keeping their bowl dreams alive, and also their hopes for the North title and a rematch with Oklahoma. Nebraska also thinking about that right now. Second down. Inside handoff to Griffin. This will be 3rd and short. So with those finals in, you can see, and Texas has yet to play. Oklahoma well on its way to becoming 4-0 in the South. And then up in the North, Colorado would suffer its first loss, but they would still be ahead of Iowa State, Kansas State, whom they have beaten, and Nebraska. So there's still a lot of snaps in the Big 12, especially in the North Division. 5.5 minutes here in the 3rd quarter. 3rd down and 3 for Hibble and the Sooners. Fires high and intercepted at midfield. Picked off by number 17, Medford Moore, the junior from Los Angeles.
Nate Hibble threw that ball off balance. When he does not set his feet, he does not throw the ball well. He kind of threw a jump pass on this one. Watch, he comes out to his right, and watch him jump and throw the ball here. Does not see the free safety, does not set his feet, and he gets picked off. Very similar to the way he was picked off in that Texas game. Not finding the free safety, not staying on balance. Bad play from the quarterback when they needed to punt the ball.
Can Colorado take advantage? Here's Brown, slowed down and then buried. And no shot to go any place on that play after Eric Hilaire moves in. Here's the miscues. Those are the 5 turnovers there, and you can see what it resulted in: 3 touchdowns and a field goal. That's 24 points. 24 points off turnovers here today. The difference in the football game. 2nd down. Brown again, met by Teddy Lehman. What a good job by number 11 that time at the point of attack.
Teddy Lehman cleans it up, but just like Roy Williams, that safety is at the line of scrimmage. Eric Bassey, number 32, watch him dive into the backfield right here. Gets in there and turns up, allows Brown nowhere to go but inside, right back into the linebacker, and Teddy Lehman stands him up.
This defense is on a mission to keep Brown under 100 yards. You can tell he's sitting on 76, and that is the Stoops Venables goal right now. 3rd down. Hodge fires. Got him. 1st down for Colorado inside the 35. Ron Monte, the sophomore who transferred from Oregon State.
I think Derek Strait thought he had an interception here, but the ball was lobbed a little higher than he thought, and he misjudged it. Hodge throws the ball to the outside. Derek Strait cuts underneath this throw to intercept, but he misjudges it. Monte says thanks, and I almost could have turned around and scored.
On the toss play, Drum with a killer block that time, but still coming up hard is number 96, Lynn Magruder, who transferred from Tennessee for the stop. At the end of the game, we select the Chevrolet player of the game from each team. Chevrolet makes a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund.
Boy, those inside guys are handling that offensive line for Colorado, and the extra safety up in the box. Bassey is forcing Drum to block him.
And that's virtually taking him off the linebackers.
Right.
There goes Drum trying to lead Brown again. Brown battles. Brown with his tougher run. That's his best run of the 2nd half right there. Very close to a 1st down for Brown, who's just as determined to get to 100.
Late flag on that one, too.
So the battle is on. Brown has reached 85 yards now. He's only 15 yards away. You make him a heavy favorite to get to 100. Remember, he came in leading the nation at 162 yards a carry. He's battling for every yard. Look at number 22. What's interesting is we all know the story that Northwestern wanted to make him into a tight end. Gary Barnett told us something we didn't know. He said, listen, when I looked at the young man, I thought he was going to be a linebacker. Nobody knew he was going to wind up this good a running back.
Personal foul on the defense.
Let's offset that, baby. Play on.
Take official's timeout for a measurement.
So they were both post play, so they're both offset, and that play will count.
You know, one of the things as we watch this measurement, when we went over and visited with Stoops and all the coordinators, and there's such a great coaching staff to visit for an announcer because they're so forthcoming and they tell you great stories and anything. But you walk into Bob Stoops' office. Here's where I knew they were very confident about this game, folks. He was watching golf on ESPN. We went over to Brother Mike's office. He's watching the stock report on CNBC. See, now that's when you know he's about to become a head coach somewhere because he's going to get the big bucks. So, and then Stoops is talking restaurants with us. He sends us over to Othello's last night. Best Italian food down here in Oklahoma, he said, and I don't think he was wrong about that.
Well, you picked up the tab. It was good for me.
3rd down and inches. Straight ahead now. Well, you talk about the interest in the Sooners, Gary. On the way, I dropped by one of the department stores. You ought to see all of the T-shirts, sweatshirts, sweatsuits, workout gear for Christmas with Sooner logo on it. I mean, this is Sooner mad down here. And Bob Goodrich had told us at the meeting that other than Columbus, Ohio, I think the biggest rating for college football per capita is right up the road in Oklahoma City. They love this guy Stoopsy down here.
They're hot.
Why not?
They're hot and great tradition.
So it's a 1st down now for Colorado. They'll try to finish one off here. Here's Brown again picking his way. And look at 4 jerseys. Lehman in there again. Let's go to Jackaroo, Jack.
Well, Brett, we're watching some good play by Eric Bassey, the strong safety for the Oklahoma Sooners. He stepped in, as you know, into some pretty big shoes when Roy Williams left. But he's still mentored by the man he replaced. Roy talks to him every week and was the man that identified what the difference maker is in Bassey's play this year. He told Bassey that he has to play more with just intensity because it comes naturally. He says, stop thinking about what you're doing. He has, and he's gotten much better.
Purify now replaces Brown. Option look. Hodge keeping it all the way. He's smacked at the 11-yard line by Everidge, the hard-hitting safety. For an update now, let's go to John Saunders in New York. John.
Brent, Ohio State looking to remain unbeaten, facing a Minnesota team that's a little bit better than people thought this year. But Craig Krenzel here, 30 yards to Chris Vance for the touchdown. Buckeyes starting to open up some breathing room, now lead it 27-3.
All right, John, and here, Colorado with another scoring opportunity. A 1st down inside the 15. Here comes Purify, slashing inside the end zone, touchdown. Great run by Bobby Purify for Colorado's 1st touchdown of the afternoon. A 12-yard beauty.
He followed Drum on that one, but after he followed him through the hole, he started to move around and slither his way through it. That was great balance to get to the goal line. And that turnover by Nate Hibble might have gotten Colorado just a little bit of life in this football game.
Nate Hibble ready for his turn at bat. Let's see if Barnett elects to go for the single. He's going to go for the double. He's got his personnel on the field right now. And
make it a 16-point game and only 2 scores if he does.
They want to go from the left hash. Hodge rolling to the right, firing end zone to McCoy's got it. There it is, Gary, sitting on a 16. Yep. You said it. That could give Colorado a life. They're right back in it now.
It's a 2-possession game now. That's how you have to play it when you're way behind.
Now watch Drum, the Alaskan assassin, number 33, lead the way here for 42.
Bobby Purify says, you know what? Just not follow number 33. 33 will find somebody. He does just a bit on Bassey, but look at that move by Purify. Balance, vision, effort into the end zone. Purify scored receiving, but this is his 1st rushing touchdown of the season. Chris Brown sucking wind with those hits he's been taking, and Purify comes in. But watch, Robert Hodge makes his best throw of the day on this 2-pointer. Sprints out, hits McCoy right on stride. Best throw of the day by Robert Hodge.
Boy, you watch number 33, Brandon Drum, lead the way. We asked Chris Brown about Brandon Drum as a blocking fullback. Here's what he said.
Jordan just dominates at the point of the contact. He knows who he's supposed to go get, and he goes and destroys them every time, opening up the huge holes.
And now Mariscal to kick it off, and can Colorado keep it going? Make a stand of it here in the fourth quarter. A fresh life after the purified touchdown behind Drum. Fine run. They'll take a knee and bring it out on the 20-yard line. Lots of good football today. Tonight at 7:45 Eastern, David Green and Georgia look to secure a spot in the SEC championship. They'll try to do it against Rex Grossman and the Gators of Florida on college football presented by the U.S. Postal Service tonight on ESPN at 7:45. Sorry you can't get out of town, Gary. I guess you'll be watching that one.
There'll be 3 of them that you can watch tonight. All good. You got Virginia Tech playing, you got Texas,
right,
Nebraska, and you got Georgia, Florida.
I'll give you a call.
I'm sure you don't want to stay.
You give me the scores. Now on a running play. Here comes number 22, Griffin again. So we move to the top of the hour in Norman, Oklahoma. It rained hard early in this game. Stopped in the first half. Hasn't rained since. Nobody leaving. Lots of rain slickers in the crowd. Still about 1:15 left in the third. 27-11. Colorado's just scored its first touchdown.
This will be the test for Oklahoma. You can run the ball when they don't think you're going to run the ball. But right now, Oklahoma wants to run the ball. And we'll see if they can do it against a defense that knows they want to run the ball.
Jones, the running back, and here he comes left side, and he's stoned.
Right.
And now it is the Buffaloes who are starting to come on defensively with a little force.
One thing that Colorado's going to take out of this football game is if they do lose it, they're going to say, wait a second. We gave them this football game. They're a great football team, but we stayed in the game. If we hold on the ball, we can make a game of it if we meet them again.
Here comes the passing personnel. Stoops checking that clock.
Most important third down play of the game so far, I believe.
4 yards. And Hibble, pump fake, fire, incomplete. And Oklahoma forced the punt.
Strickland did a nice job on that one. He's been playing the slot all game.
Did he hook him? Bobby says he hooked him.
Well, it ain't going to be called. And it's not the last play of the game like we saw last week. I thought Strickland did a nice job on this one.
What are you watching? He says, take a look at the replay. There it is.
One pump, throws it again. He throws a knuckler. He gets the ball in a hand. He's got his other hand right there.
Was the pass deflected as it came out of there?
I don't know. It was a knuckler. Look to me, you couldn't tell.
We'll take a look at that because, of course, all bets are off if that ball was touched by a defender. Now Bloom back to return. He's going to wave everybody off. This is not a great punt. Colorado's going to get it at the 43-yard line. So we come to the end of the third. Clayton with a touchdown for Oklahoma. But Purify answered, and we got a game going into the fourth. Back after this message and word from our ABC stations.
John Saunders back in New York. The update on the Irish. This is one last heave. The seconds tick down. Carlisle Holiday is going to go for it all. Little tip drill. But this one tips and hits the ground. And it's done. The Irish winning streak comes to an end. They get their first loss of the season. Boston College wins it 14-7. Brent.
Oh, history repeats in South Bend, but why would you break out the green jerseys when things are going so well?
I don't know, boy. You tell you that this game, though, is still alive here. One's over, and this one is still a ball game.
Fake by Hodge is a beauty. Can he find his man? He does. Inside the 40-yard line. Hodge with a beautiful play fake. Hit McCoy that time.
This is how you have to use Robert Hodge. He's not comfortable in the pocket. He's comfortable coming out, putting a little pressure on the corner and throwing the one-on-one routes. When you ask him to read over the middle, he just doesn't have enough experience.
So it's 19 more yards passing. He's now thrown for 127. Here's the toss to Purify. Gets away from Lehman beautifully. and steps out of bounds at the 30-yard line.
One of the things you have to do if you're going to run the ball in the fourth quarter, you have to have, I think in college football nowadays, a guy to spell your number one guy. And Colorado has a great one in Bobby Purify. Now they come back, and they've got their fresh back in there, Brown, for the change of pace.
Brown sitting on 87 yards. Drum right in front of him. Here they come. Brown muscles his way to the 22-yard line. No stopping him.
Well, Robert Drum, you talk about Chris Brown, and all these players on this Colorado team point to Brandon Drum as the guy they feel makes that offense go. He's got great balance and vision for a fullback. We know he's tough, and he tracks the play smartly, knows what he's doing.
The Alaskan assassin. Bring him on. Now there he is. 3 pancakes. And he caught that pass for a dozen. And prior to the snap, you can see the movement down there. We've had
prior to the snap, false start on the offense.
Total of
it'll be a 5-yard
7 turnovers in this game. 5 of them by Barnett's Colorado. Jack?
Well, Brent, ever since you named Brandon Drum the Alaskan assassin, he's had a smile on his face. Not because he enjoys the ribbing that he gets from his teammates, but because his teammates have stopped ribbing him about his Alaskan roots. Now they just call him the Double A. Before they would ask him things like, what did you do? Take a dog sled to school? He got a lot of ribbon, but now he just gets ribbed about your nickname.
First down and 15. Play fake's a beauty. The tight end is just thrown down by Lehman. Bo Williams didn't have a chance.
Against this offense that Colorado's running with only one wide receiver, Andre Woolfolk is playing man-to-man on the outside. They're putting 9 people in the box, but watch the speed from Lehman right there. As soon as the ball is thrown, the fastest linebacker, one of the fastest linebackers in the country, just eats up that play.
Now the hot hand in some respects is number 42, Bobby Purify, and he's back on the field. He's the lone setback here. Second down and 15. Purify slips out. They've got him. Oh, beautiful tackle at the 23 by Everidge.
Boy, they had it set up to the screen. Instead of going to the outside, he came right up the middle that time and snuck out wide, and Everidge was the last possible guy to stop it and save a touchdown.
Now on third down, you can expect Hodge to probably roll hard to the right and try to throw something off the movement. And wait, they take him out to the sideline. They're going to change their personnel quickly now. Monte over to the side.
I believe Colorado thinks he's got 2 down territory. They'll go for it on 4th down.
He's got 3 wide off to the right. McCoy comes through the formation to influence the safety. And he threw low.
Yeah, he had him wide open.
McCoy at the 20-yard line.
Not enough yards. They're going to have to kick the field goal. He had him wide open. It's called pulling the string. He had him so open that he aimed the ball. Wide open over the middle, does not set his feet and throws it right in the ground. You really got to concentrate on your technique on those open plays.
And I wonder, Gary, if the ball sometimes is still a little wet. We've seen both these quarterbacks throw goofy-looking passes.
Never got a speed set on that one, though.
So here's Pat Brown. Slides it off to the right. It's 27-11. Oklahoma weathers the storm. Timeout. Gary Barnett on the left and Bob Stoops there on the right. Stoops with the upper hand right now. 12:25 to go. 27-11 is your score here in Norman, Oklahoma. The unbeaten Sooners, #1 in the BCS rankings, hoping to get the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl. They go to work on the clock now. And Griffin dances around at the line of scrimmage. Missoni making the stop. Let's check our running back comparison. Remember, Brown came in averaging 162 yards a game. Not a bad day for him, but not a Brown type day either. Meanwhile, Griffin with his third 100-yard game. He puts up 119, averaging better than 6 yards a crack. He had that big 248 against Texas and Dallas a few weeks ago. And here's number 22 now, moving up there again. Drum, the lead fullback over there with Brown on the Colorado sideline. And Hibble puts it up into Savage's hands, and nothing doing as Snead hits him right away. And a reminder, Monday night, it's a good one, 9 Eastern. You're going to want to be there for that one. Dolphins against the Packers. What do you think about that matchup, Mr. Danielson?
Did you get any doctor's report on Brett Favre's knee? I know he'll play.
You bet. He'll be there. And Gary Danielson following the NFL closely, getting ready for the wild card game.
Another excuse to watch Sunday night and Monday night football.
You got to tell your wife, you got to do your homework now.
Good job. What are you going to do?
Third down. We got 4 wide here for the Sooners. Here's Hibble. Looks back left, and Peoples is smacked at the 23. Jackson jumps that play beautifully.
Oh, big play by Phil Jackson that time. You know, that missed field goal by Colorado was huge because that would have got it off of the 16 mark. Colorado still has to score twice and make the 2-point conversion both times. Otherwise, they'd be within 13.
Would you go after this punt?
You know, you ask me that all the time at this point of the game right now. You know that? That's your, I don't know. If I could block it, I'd go after it.
They're setting up to try to stop the Gunners, coming hard from the one side. And again, get a bounce out of bounds. They're going to have favorable field position. 10-26. Colorado can make a stand if they can score this time. Timeout. ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you grab life by the horns. Dodge, the people of Allstate. You're in good hands with Allstate. And FedEx, ground, international, online, or express. Don't worry, there's a FedEx for that. Well, indeed, trying to get back to that BCS championship game down there in Tempe, Arizona. John Junker will really put that Fiesta Bowl on the road. He's here today watching these Sooners. Done a great job with that bowl. It'll be a wonderful setting. First down and 10. There's the handoff on the end around. They sprint to daylight. 45 with Bloom. And Bloom is out of bounds inside the 35-yard line. How about that mogul star that time?
Yeah, little tricks for treats. That's one of those plays that Sean Watson, the offensive coordinator, saved for a big play. Bloom around the end, running wide. And when he gets in the open, he's the punt returner, goes in motion from receive, then gets a one-on-one. Perkins must make the play and gets just enough of them to allow Teddy Lehman and Everidge force him to the sideline.
A 26-yard gain for Jeremy. Here comes Brown. Now the hammer to the 30-yard line. Edging closer to that 100-yard mark. Everidge now.
Last time Colorado had the ball, they needed points. 2 plays. On second down, a screen play. Everidge makes the tackle, and on third down, when you need to make the play, the quarterback throws the ball low on what should have been a first down. You only have so many chances.
That is so right. Second down and 5. Here comes the option look. Hodge goes nowhere. It's third down and 5. Now, we've talked about the BCS. Oklahoma winning. Miami won. Notre Dame will drop out of the battle for the national championship, you would think. Georgia later tonight over on ESPN against Florida. Ohio State winning. And Virginia Tech tonight along with Texas. Now, Colorado losing. They'd fall out of the 15. The BCS ranks only the top 15. LSU idle. So third down and 5. Here comes Bloom with that show of motion again. They pitch the other way. Daylight to the 16. Bobby Purify.
Well, anybody but Teddy Lehman at linebacker and Purify scores on that play. Another one of those gimmick plays that Colorado has used to open up the second half here. Watch it, motion right here. They kind of fake it and then pitch wide, and Lehman is the only guy that has a chance, Brent. Watch how open this thing is. Good block downfield down here, and Lehman just reaches out and makes the play.
Nobody schemes any better than Gary Barnett's staff. And this has been a scheme half here with Brown at full, gets the carry, middle, and he's wrestled down at the 12-yard line. Pasha Jackson. So Brown crosses 100 yards, and who's the last player to rush for better than 100 yards? It was the Deuce, as in McAllister, December 31st, 1999, and 80 yards at the 121, coming on that one touchdown run.
The last tailback. Remember, the quarterback has done it this year.
Absolutely, Brad Smith. Great play by number 90, Hilaire, the senior from Oklahoma City. There's Chris Brown with 103 yards.
Look at that, though.
Running back.
4.1. Chris Brown is averaging 6.8 this season. So even though he got his 100, Oklahoma made him earn every yard.
Now, OU has Colorado back in 3rd down, where today Colorado's only 5 of 13, folks.
Yeah.
They've got them where they want them. 3rd down and 7 now.
7 minutes to go, though. It's 4-down territory.
You've got to hit the touchdown on this drive. Gary's all over that. Roll hard. Needs it. Dive for the reception. Couldn't hang on. So Donahoe, 85. Came ever so close, and now we're coming to the 4th down.
Throw again. Another fine throw by Robert Hodge. Throwing off the run. Ball to Donahoe. He reaches out with one hand. I thought he was going to make this catch, but just couldn't bring it in.
They've got to talk about this 4th down. 7 yards, down 16. Not only do they need the touchdown, they need the 2. Timeout. All right, quarterback, let's take a look at our Dodge defensive playbook.
Well, we talked about how you have to scheme against Oklahoma. The reason is, look how well they cover. Come on, Brent, play quarterback. Here you go. You're Robert Hodge. Come out, find somebody to throw to. Who are you going to throw to? Nobody.
Keep it. Run with it.
Yeah, keep it, get a headache. That's what you get if you keep it.
Here's 4th down now and 7 yards to go. This could be your old ball game. Here's Hodge. Looking back the other way. Got the screen. Can they get it? Slips down close. I don't think he got it. He's short of that yellow line. Bobby Purify. Everidge, you know he was around the action over there. He has been all day.
It tells you the respect that Gary Barnett has for this Oklahoma defense, that on a key play, he kind of went with a trick. He did not believe he was good enough at quarterback, a little inexperienced, and he went to his guy who's made some plays with the ball. A big play by guess who again? Brandon Everidge. One of the vicious, not only a vicious tackle, but a very sure tackle. He saved 2 touchdowns on plays on Purify.
He's had an interception, returned it 64 yards. He was the defensive player of the year in college football against Iowa State. Doing it again now. And on 1st down, Jones, the redshirt freshman from Jenks, Oklahoma. And time remaining. Stay tuned now for the Thrifty Car Rental postgame report. We'll have scores and highlights from around the country. And John's going to have plenty of time to break down that Notre Dame loss at the hands of Boston College. And again, history repeats. The week after the Irish stunned Florida State, they lose again to Boston College. The last time was Tom Coughlin. This time it's Coach O'Brien. Brings BC in there and shocks the unbeaten Irish. 2nd down and short after the 9-yard run by Jones. And this time the defense doing a good job. Walrus.
Oklahoma's kind of played careful in the 2nd half. They did not want to give Colorado too much. And the interception by Nate Hibble was all I think Bob Stoops and Chuck Long needed to see to kind of close it down and say our defense is too good to give the game to Colorado. Let's make it earn it, at least punt the ball. Kawan Jones on the first play got dinged a bit, and then on 2nd and short, he just didn't have that normal pop to make the 1st down.
And he'll bring the chains out and measure. Well, folks, if you get a chance next week, check into the early game on ABC. Ohio State goes to Purdue, and all year long, my partner and the former Boilermaker Greg has been promising me an upset. I'm going to hold him to it, folks. I'm going to put his feet to the fire.
Well, this Oklahoma team, you are not going to beat this team making mistakes.
Look pretty good, don't they, Gary?
Yes, you have to play your A. Gary Barnett was 100% right. We had to have our A game to beat them, and we did not play our A game today.
Jones is thrown down. We check in with Jack.
Well, Brent, if you look at the play of Nate Hibble today, the quarterback, it's been some good plays. It's been some bad plays. That seems to be the scenario that always unfolds with one Mr. Hibble, off on the side of some criticism. But the coaches always tell Nate, look, what's most important is that you have more good plays than you have bad plays. And after all, the only thing that people will judge you on is how you do in the fourth quarter. That seems to be the one big change with Nate Hibble this year. He's a little bit better in the fourth than he's been in the past.
Yeah, a little more confident. The other thing is, Bobby Stoops told us, Brent, is I look around, a lot of quarterbacks making mistakes nowadays. You know, from Ken Dorsey all the way on, people make mistakes because of the speed and sophistication of these defenses today.
Well, here's Griffin. What a game he's had. Against OU. Unhappy with some of the things that are going on by the offense. Early on, Brown fumbled, led to a touchdown. This pass to Savage. Then Purify scored the touchdown, and then the fourth down stop by Everidge. Number 7 with a touchdown-saving tackle. If Everidge misses on that, Purify's going to the end zone, and we can wind up with a ball game.
Yep, 2 of them he did, and you know, he just has the speed back there, and as Jack alluded to, Mike Stoops says the guy that maybe has the most intensity on that defense is Brandon Everidge.
3rd and 7 from the 22.
3rd down. Here's Hibble. Winging it. And it is dropped over there at the 35-yard line after the first down. Are they waving it off? They say
caught and dropped is what he said. Right on the bench in front of Colorado. That's a tough call to make. One-on-one coverage to the outside. Ball's perfectly thrown. Catches it, comes down. That's a good call, I think. You know, you're not on the other side. You got to get used to this instant replay stuff on the other side. We need one more camera.
Want that reverse angle?
Yeah, I got to see the reverse angle. I got to see the reverse.
First down at 10.
You know, strangely though, Brent, I really believe Colorado's going to come away from this game saying, if we can get back to the championship and do our job, and we just do our job against these guys again, we can beat this team. I know they're going to believe that. We came into their place, gave the ball to them 5 times, and we still were in the football game. That's what Gary Barnett will sell to his team. Still, they got a lot of work to get back to playing again.
Here's Griffin on a nice cutback. Harris with the stop. And of course, we mentioned next Saturday, that first game, Purdue, Ohio State. And again, it's 11 Central Time. Then you'll see these Sooners against Texas A&M. Now, A&M is really struggling, but it is never easy. That one's down in Aggie land, eh? And so I remember when Oklahoma won the national title a few years ago. You and I were down there. Texas A&M had a chance. Josh Heupel and the Sooners rallying in the fourth quarter. Marshall with that interception. And that put the show on the road for Oklahoma. That was their toughest test. As continue working on the clock, and NC State was under pressure. Let's check in with John for an update on that game. John?
Brent trying to get to 10-0, but it's not been easy against Georgia Tech. This is A.J. Suggs, 2 yards to John Paul Foshee, and that's a touchdown. They have to go for the 2-point conversion. Suggs to Jonathan Smith this time. It's tied at 17. Brent.
A lot of time left there, too, John. Almost 11 minutes in that game. Here, only 3:47 to go. We got a timeout in Norman. This is a group that could be playing for all the Tostitos. This is an outstanding football team led by as good a defense as there is in this country. And you can see all the national championships that they have won through the years. The Wilkinsons and the Switzers and the Stoops. 3rd down and 2. Now we got a little timeout. And you know what's interesting about Colorado? They have not pushed Chris Brown for the Heisman at all. And the reason why is head coach Gary Barnett. I asked him why they didn't send out flyers and focus and push him. And here's what he had to say.
In my opinion, you either win the award or you lose the award on the field. So it's what Chris is going to do over the next 4 games, maybe 5 games, that's going to make a difference.
Now, Gary, I ask you, he was limited a little bit today, but he did go over 100 yards against this defense that does not give running backs 100 yards very often. Is he still a legitimate Heisman Trophy candidate? Can he start to move up the charts? What's your feeling about Brown's chances here?
I was going to ask you the same question.
I got there first.
Yes, he's still in it. He needs a huge day, though. He probably needs some help now. Dorsey, I think, is going to have to lose a game for anybody else to win it. He's still in it, but my personal pick, Ken Dorsey, he goes back-to-back years undefeated. How can you not give that guy? I'll tell you one of the keys to winning the Heisman. Don't play Oklahoma. Chris Sims, Seneca Wallace, and Chris Brown might tell you that.
What a great point that is about those 3 guys. There's the toss play now, working the clock again. And that's Jones, the ball carrier. And let's find out on that NC State game. Let's go back to John.
Well, Brent, you want to see good things happen out of a broken play? Gordon Clinkscale has to reverse his ground, gets a great block there, gets another one there, and then to the end zone. Touchdown. Georgia Tech strikes fast and leads it 24-17. Still about 9:23 to go. NC State looking to avoid their first loss.
Man, John, that'd be something. If we lost 2 of the, we have 8 unbeatens when the day started, including Bowling Green, of course. Well, and Notre Dame's lost. And later tonight, Georgia's got to go. And
right. And, you know, coming into this game, besides that, Brent, there were only 4 teams that had 1 loss. And Minnesota lost today. So, you know, I mean, there's not a lot of teams that can run the table anymore.
Well, we've had some difference makers in this game. And there's no question about who they were for Oklahoma. They have stood tall. Gary gave you a great rundown of who they've taken on. Corey Klein, Tommy Harris in the middle of this defensive line. Lance Mitchell was there. Teddy Lehman played a great game today. He was all over the field. And, of course, the defensive backfield, the last hurdle, and Brown could not get over it. Brandon Everidge stood very tall.
You know who else has been quiet? But when a cornerback is quiet, Andre Woolfolk, that's good news because that means they're not even thrown at him.
He did block a field goal in the first half.
Well, we were doing, we got an illegal shift or he did not like the way someone brought their players on the field, and sometimes you can get in trouble for trying to bring your players in and take advantage of a substitution.
Substitution infraction.
Yes, substitution infraction by Oklahoma. He tried to gain an advantage by running their punt team on at the last second. Now, Bobby says, I'm the sedate one, and Mike's the emotional one, but not right now. That ain't the case.
And Mike says, well, what's happening to my brother up there? Let me get involved in this. Now, 3:30 to go now. Blake Ferguson.
Now I'd go for the block, I'll tell you that.
Thanks, quarterback. Teddy Lehman threw a great block. They might have got there. Here's Bloom. Down at the 26-yard line. McCoy, number 34, and look at Stoops.
Fisher was very upset with that quick fourth down punt formation team. It doesn't cost you a lot. It's just you have to give the other team time to get your team unit out there following a timeout.
Now look at Venables and Mike. They're all fired up out there. They never quit coaching. And Hodge has a crossing man. Not going to gain much. He steps out of bounds at the 32. That's Hackett again.
Again, that's what Oklahoma and Stoops and this defense love to give you. Give you that short pass over the middle. What he wants is make the tackle and let the clock run. And how different is this defense?
Look at Stoops.
Yeah,
look at Stoops and Venables. They're arguing down there.
The players know they yell at each other more than they yell at the players.
Oh, the coaches get a big kick out of these two guys. Second down and 4. Hodge fires left side and incomplete. Everidge came across from that safety spot as they back off now. Donahoe, the intended receiver.
Yeah, he wouldn't have been able to catch that. He went out of bounds to get around the defensive back. But, you know, when Bob Stoops brought this defense to Oklahoma, it was an attack Kansas State man-to-man defense. Remember him in Florida with Steve Spurrier? Steve said, just do it quick. Whatever defense you do, do it quick. But he came here, he got burned by Colorado, and now they're a zone defense.
Here's your third down and 4. Hodge steps up, fires. Very close. They were on the first down line when Lehman brought the pads on Monte, and they spotted just short of the first down. Wow, at the 3-minute mark. Let me thank some folks. The executive producer of ABC Sports is Howard Katz. Senior producer Bob Toms. Coordinating producer, the producer of today's game here at ABC, Bobby Goodrich. Directed by Larry Camp. Our AP, Drew Kaliski. Associate Director Brian Fay. Studio show produced by Tim Weinkoff. Directed by Fred King today. Nice going, Fred. The TD, Kevin Bierman. And our TD, Monty Poling. Our production manager, Christy Bravey. And our technical manager, Mark Towie. Director of production, Mark Loomis. Our production assistants, Sun Devil and Red Fox. And our spotter, Brian Mobilson. Our stats man, George Hill. Thanks to everybody. 4th and inches now at the 3-minute mark. Hodge, right under center, goes behind the left side for the first down. And of course, the two SIDs, nobody more entertaining or any better than Dave Platty up there in Colorado. We always look forward to seeing the Platty man. And here at Oklahoma, Kenny Mossman and Danielle Felter. Thanks to everybody for all the help we always get at these schools. Deflected, incomplete.
You know, Brent, if you just look at this Oklahoma defense, I mean, there's no real secret. Yes, they're well coached. But you look at the future NFL players they have out there. Andre Woolfolk is going to be a great player. Brandon Everidge is going to play in the NFL. Derek Strait is going to play in the NFL. Tommy Harris. And I'm falling in love with Teddy Lehman. He covers so much ground, and he's going to grow 20 pounds.
2nd and 10.
Watch him. Look at Lehman.
Lehman just flashes.
Wow. I mean, you can play the zone blitz with Teddy Lehman because he covers the territory of 2 linebackers. What a football player Teddy Lehman is.
11 tackles today. Teddy Lehman, a legend here in Oklahoma. Now in the middle, they got their first down. Bobby Purify comes across. Teddy Lehman, Gary, from Fort Gibson, Oklahoma. That was a town that did not have, as I am told, a great high school football team until number 11 showed up, and he was like a one-man band, and they didn't know what position he'd wind up playing. And there to follow up on Jack Arut's story earlier, a great athlete, they put him at linebacker. Purify again, reaching out toward the first down, depending on the spot. Shelby, the defender, right there.
Oklahoma is trading yards for seconds right now.
Second and short. Hodge high and incomplete. Out of bounds on that far side. Hackett, the intended receiver on the game. Hodge is 17 of 34, 158. 2 costly interceptions. Brown has run for 103 yards. Nate Hibble 10 of 23, 105 yards, 3 TDs and 2 picks. Griffin ran for 128 yards today, and Jones for 82. So Oklahoma with 2 fine running backs. Purify still going. Inside the 20, Bobby Purify running very well in relief of Brown here.
Yeah, a year ago, until Chris Brown burst on the scene in that huge game against Nebraska, Purify and Brown were about the same in average.
Look who's down here.
He's down. Average comes up low, comes up with his head, comes up on those tackles leading with his head, and a lot of times it could be a knee or a thigh that gets right in that shoulder neck area.
Yeah, he's down at the 30-yard line.
Tell you, Oklahoma needed a blow anyway. They were gassed on defense.
You know, I want to go back on one of your points, and I want to remind the audience that this could be the first of 2 games. If Colorado goes back to Boulder and takes care of business against the North, they could well have a rematch with Oklahoma in Houston. They're going to play in the new stadium, the Big 12 championship game. And Gary said that Colorado is going to come out of here and feel that they can win a rematch.
Coming up from the right side is him right there. He lays out. Yeah, his head kind of gets bent aside right there. That's the danger one that you see all these football players worry about. And that's why the NFL has those rules of not leading with the head.
17 tackles for the safety today. 17. What a game he's had. Minute and a half. Tried to set the screen and incomplete. Brown, the intended target.
That was a smart play by Hodge. He knew the play was not going to go anywhere, and it was better just to take an incompletion there. He threw it right at Chris Brown's feet on the play.
Inside of a minute and a half, Oklahoma will stay #1, no doubt, in the BCS rankings. Miami had all it can handle today against Rutgers, and Notre Dame a loser. The Sooners taking care of business. Clock is stopped. Out of bounds at the 12-yard line. Donahoe. Here's our Chevrolet players of the game. We're going to honor Chris Brown. We're going to respect the fact that he got 100 yards against this defense today. So for number 22, he'll be the Chevrolet player of the game for Colorado. And Brandon Everidge, 17 tackles. We're not going to look past that. What a day. You could have given it to Teddy Lehman, but we'll choose Everidge here. 3rd and 4. And a recognition of their efforts. Chevrolet makes a $1,000 contribution.
Teddy Lehman again.
Each university's general scholarship fund. He's trying to catch Everidge.
Exactly. 2 more minutes in this game. He's going to come from behind on this play.
He wants us to revote up here.
He just closes so quickly.
There's 4th down. End zone deflected, incomplete. McCoy, number 34, flashes. Hold on, there's a penalty.
It might have been before the snap.
Strait is very unhappy.
Nope.
Illegal formation on the offense. The penalties decline. 1st down, Oklahoma.
They can run it out now. Colorado out of timeouts. The headsets come off. And the Sooners stay unbeaten.
Sooners stay unbeaten. Sooners actually stay 2 games ahead of Texas because they beat them. They get the tiebreaker. Is that correct?
That's in the South. You got it.
Yep. So they are, of course, they got their eye on bigger things than just the South. They got a chance to win it all.
And it's going to take a very focused team to beat this OU defense.
Nickel takes it in the 10-yard line.
So Oklahoma, with their 4th victory in the Big 12 South, and Texas, their lone loss came at the hands of OU. Then in the North now, Colorado with their first defeat. Iowa State 4-2 as they hang on against Missouri today.
And that means Iowa State and Colorado both control their own destiny. Whoever wins that game would have control of the conference. Nebraska needs Iowa State to lose.
It's going to be a big game between Iowa State and Colorado. Chance to get to the Big 12 championship. Bobby Stoops up with another win. And the players beat center of the field, Gary and Coach Stoops. 27-11. Oklahoma stays unbeaten and #1 in the BCS. Let's go to New York now. And John Saunders.